I think one of the hardest reality pills that I had to accept is not everybody in your life is meant to stay in your life forever. Sometimes people are placed into your life for a season. Maybe they're in your life to teach you something, whether it's a good lesson or a bad one, right? And for me, the hardest thing that I struggled with was letting people go. I think a lot of people who are extremely ambitious, a lot of women who are ambitious may struggle with this because we have this, and correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment down below, but we have this drive to work really hard on things, right? Whether it's school or career, business, whatever it is, right? There's a goal that you have and you are willing to pour everything into that goal to achieve the results that you want, right? And a lot of times what we'll do is, or what I find myself doing is you take that same drive and you try to put it into your relationships, whether that's platonic or romantic. And you have this drive of trying to get the results that you want in that relationship, even if that relationship isn't working. But because you're an ambitious woman like myself, you'll find yourself just trying to fix instead of just let go. And that's what I would find myself doing all the time. I would be in friendships with people, with women who, you know, it was evident that our paths were just no longer aligning, right? They want to go one way, I want to go another way. And that doesn't make them bad people. The path just is no longer aligned, right? And instead of just learning how to let things fizzle out and learning how to let things go, I would find myself trying harder and harder and harder to fix it, overextending. And in the process, all I was doing was draining myself, right? I might have seen things in that person's life and I might have the answer for it. And I want to help them so badly, right? I want to give them the knowledge that I've learned so badly. And I'm like, just do this, just do this, just do this. But that's not what they want to do. And more, they are allowed to not want to do it. But in the process of me trying to overextend and to help them and to pull them up, I'm draining myself, right? And everyone's not meant to walk your journey with you. And that was something really hard for me to accept. I think sometimes I still struggle with that, learning how to let people go. Something else, too, that I learned is that people may not see you in the same light that you see them. What do I mean by that? This happened to me. Sometimes you may have someone in your life and you consider them your best friend, right? Your best friend. But they may not see you as their best friend. Maybe they just see you as an acquaintance or a friend, someone to go out with from time to time, right? And so there's a disconnect between how you view them and how they view you. And it sucks when that realization hits you. Because for the longest time, you really thought you guys were one way, but then you're seeing how they're treating other people in their life. They don't treat you like that. And you have to realize that they don't see you in that same light. And there's really nothing you can do to fix it. It just is what it is. And you have to be willing to accept it or just remove yourself completely. And this happened to me once. There was a friend that I had in childhood, and we went off to college, but I still thought we were very, very close, right? But I started to notice as we were getting older, even though I still considered her my best friend, she had other friends that she was way closer to. And back then I didn't realize that as your life changes, as you get married or as you have kids, you tend to just surround yourself with other people who are experiencing those same things. And I didn't realize back then that that's perfectly okay, right? This is the older version of me talking now. And so, when I started to notice that, it really hurt me. It really did, because I was like, dang, like she didn't invite me, or she would have invited me before, like, and you have to get to a point where you realize that some people are just in your life for a season. Maybe they'll come back around. Maybe you guys will reconnect in the future. Maybe not. But that's okay. And that's part of life. You have to be willing to accept people as they are. You have to see people for who they are. That's something else I used to struggle with a lot. I would see the version of people who meant well, right? Who might have just not recognized how they come across, but their intentions are well, right? That's how I would always see people. I had to learn, you have to see people for who they are, not the pedestal that you've put them on in your mind. Because people will show you time and time again who they are, and it's up to you to accept it and remove yourself. But I would always give people the benefit of the doubt. And in the midst of doing that, I would just allow them to disappoint me over and over and over and over again. But that was my fault because I wasn't taking people at face value. There's so many lessons that I've learned over the years when it comes to people. I still believe most people are good people. Maybe that's naive. I know some people may be like, no, Jazz, most people are not good people. I do believe most people are good people. I think that what we're dealing with people is their childhood trauma. I think that we all struggle with things that stem from childhood, whatever it is. And so the version of the person that you're getting is, things that they're struggling with internally. But that doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. That just means that there are just parts of them that have not healed. And, you have to decide, do you want to accept it and, take them for who they are, or do you want to remove yourself from it? Now, who I am today, 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to remove myself from it because of the fact that I've put in so much work to be this woman that I am today. And I don't want anybody's problems. I don't want anybody's energies to pull me back to a place that I no longer want to be in, right? It takes so much work to build your confidence and your self-esteem. And just as much as you built it, it can be taken from you if you allow it. If you allow people in your life who are insecure, that will rub off on you and you will become insecure too. If you allow people in your life who are not the most motivated, who are not the most driven, they can take that motivation and drive from you too. So you have to be very, very, very protective of the people that you allow in your life. And I have gotten to a space where, I'm most of the time I'm not willing to accept certain things from people. I'm just more than likely going to remove myself from it. And that's okay. Something else that I've learned too is to become okay with being by yourself. Solitude is a beautiful thing. And for the longest time, I used to be terrified of being by myself, which is another reason why I feel like I was trying so hard, in my early adult life to force relationships to work because I just didn't want to be by myself. I feared being alone, right? And so I used to believe that having a bad friend was better than having no friends. Make it make sense? We listen, we don't judge. But who I am now, I believe that having no friends is better than having bad friends, right? You have to become very comfortable with being by yourself. And you have to be comfortable with being okay with who you are. Accepting your flaws and your quirks, right? Being comfortable in your own skin. Not trying to perform and pretending to be something that you're not. I've done those things too, and it's draining. It doesn't get you anywhere. It's depressing. It causes anxiety because it's cognitive dissonance. It's who you are versus who you're portraying yourself to be, and there's a disconnect there, and it just weighs you down. Whereas if you just are your authentic self, well, now you're not draining your energy or trying to be something that you're not. But people can't do that. I couldn't do that because I wasn't comfortable with who I was. You know, there's a lot of things that I've learned over these years of life. Um, but I will say, you know, when it comes to people, I do believe now it's okay to compartmentalize people, put people in different boxes. I didn't used to think that was okay. I used to think that you had to have a friend and that was your friend for everything, right? Well, now, no. Now I believe you can have gym friends, you can have reading friends, you can have business friends, you can have married friends, you know. One friend doesn't have to be the friend for everything. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, I think that's kind of healthy, right? And if they want to cast themselves into another box too, they can, but you don't have to allow them to. You can compartmentalize people, you know, and that's okay. But if you're looking for a group of positive friends, friends where the energy is great, there's no negativity, right? Um, a lot of times in order to attract those type of friends, you have to change who you are, because I do believe that we attract what we are. I do believe that. And you can't attract healthy friendship dynamics if you're not a healthy person. You're going to sabotage it, right? So, you know, if you are looking for those tribe of women who, you know how to pour into you the way you pour into people, well, you have to make sure that you are also a positive woman as well, you know. But I do think that most people are good. I think most people want to be good, whatever good means to them. See, that's the thing. Whatever good means to them. Like what you may think is good and what someone else may think is good is two different goods, right? But this is just my thoughts on friendships and relationships. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you have to say. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do not forget to join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.